If I say build, right, and say clean and then rebuild everything, I run into a problem which tells me the linker error 2005 says print list already defined in the module, and then it says one or more multiply defined symbols is found. Now look at what I have here so far. I have stack CPP, main CPP, stack header, and node header. What happens during compile time that the two CPP files, stack CPP and main CPP, the two source files, are both made part of our project, right? The two files right here. And when we try to compile this, the compiler compiles both of these files and produces the object file, stack object file, and then main object file. The two files are produced as a result of compiling stack and main. They're compiled independently. The two object files are compiled right here, and then the linker puts them together. The linker puts them together and produces the executable file. Now, the linker is good at linking pieces together. If something was defined here, but something is trying to make a call from here to here, the linker basically will find the definition in the object file, and will also find a call in another object file, and will be happily linking this call so that inside this executable everything is wired properly. All right, so this is the situation with what happens. Now, the stack CPP, stack.cpp implementation file, and main.cpp implementation file both include a stack.h, right? So if I look at the main, stack.h, CPP, both include the same file. So they both include the same file, the same header file at the top, which is normal practice and expected. In its own turn, the stack header file, each time it includes the node.h. Okay, so the node.h is also included twice. If we now look at the node.h file, which is included two times when this CPP and this CPP is processed by the compiler, preprocessor and then compiler. At the bottom here, it contains this print list function, which is defined directly here. There's no implementation file. It's like cheating. Oh, okay, let's just have this function written here. This way, as a result, in the object file, the compiler is not very sophisticated in solving these problems. It just says, you want this function to be included, therefore defined in this CPP file? Sure, I'll make it happen. And so the function definition is here for print stack. And then once again, definition is produced here. The linker finds calls to print list, and it just no longer knows which one to call. And it complains and says there is this function print list is defined twice. So the solution to the problem is, once again, perhaps the clean solution would be to say add a brand new source file node.cpp, and click add, and it's an empty file. So this node.cpp will say include node.h, right, the header file. And after that, what we can do is go back to our node.h. Let me display them again side by side. So this is brand new implementation file for the node. And here, take this implementation, which is a global function, because it's outside of any class. Control C, and just define it here. Define it in its own implementation class file, CPP. Definitely, this function is designed to work with nodes, which we use to construct our lists. And so it's the place where it should be defined in node.cpp. And over here, it is only declared so that the rest of the application can use its declaration to attempt to call it. With this change, let me compile it. Right? So this time, we compile node CPP, we compile stack CPP, and we compile main CPP. So the situation changes, is that there is one more file that gets compiled, right? And this time, stack CPP and main CPP only get the declaration of a function, not the definition. So there is no definition in the object file produced for the stack CPP. There is no definition here. However, this file, brand new node.cpp, right, which we just added, produces its own object file, and this is the brand new place for this definition of this function, and now we have only one copy. So this whole story is the main reason why you don't want to do things like this. Define things in line and put everything in one file in the header file, because there could be problems with the linker as a result of this. So frankly, this is just the beginning of the work. I would say that normally we should just do what I did with the stack file, simply copy all of this, right? Copy all of this into just basically Control C, right? Copy all of this here, then carefully just say that node constructor scope is in the node class. Another constructor that we're trying to define, function insert, a function remove, another remove that we have, another distance that we have, and the size is also defined inside the node class. And then go back to the node.h, and here remove implementation, remove any implementation, and remove this implementation, and basically reduce this header file to just a set of function declarations, replacing function bodies just with the semicolon that basically provides the declaration only for the entire class. And so this should be okay. I hope I did make... Yes, I know. I need to carefully kind of watch out. Yeah, right here. Thank you. Yes, I need that. Also, with the default parameters like this, I don't think compiler will be happy with this. Let me try to compile it and see if I get any errors. Yes, redefinition of the default parameter. This default parameter, unfortunately, has to be taken out of the implementation file. C++ standard suggests that it's okay to use default parameter in class member function declarations, but you cannot use them in function definition. Only one place is allowed for it. So that's just the rule that exists. So again, Control A, Control KF to format everything, save everything, build, clean, build, rebuild, make sure that we build everything from scratch and it gets built, and that's what we want, right? So that's the answer regarding that global function. So here's the global function, it's declared, but it's defined in this unique, basically each function, including member functions and non-member functions of classes, like this one is a free function, global function, they must be defined only once and not multiple times, which typically happens as a result of these multiple includes. In separate translation units, you get includes, and suddenly there is a definition that gets included more than twice, more than once, 2 or more times, and that's problem. Linker is not happy about this. So function definition has to be in only one of those files that is listed as a source file, or implementation file is another name for it.